Hey guys, glad to see you here. Today's tutorial will be this witchy skull makeup. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing how I made these roses, snake bones, or that skeleton hand and other hand armor, and I can add it to the list of things that I should make tutorials for, like that unicorn skull I promised to. Anyway, enough of this long ass intro, let's get into it. Starting off, I already have some foundation on and am onto the brows. I am using NYX's brow pomade in brunette to match my natural hair that makes an appearance in this video. NYX's eyebrow push-up bra has this nice skin pinky end of its pencil to carve out any mistakes you make with the brows. Moving on to some fancy eye makeup. I start by packing the yellow shade from the Strobe of Genius palette onto the centre of my lid. Then taking the gold and brown shades from NYX's Full Throttle palette, Easy on the Eyes, and waterproof eyeliner in golden bronze, I create a halo eye kind of design, blending out the pencil with my fingers and packing on the gold eyeshadow most of the lid, and then the brown only in the corners. Now I'm using NYX's liquid suede in amethyst as a purple base for the inner crease of my upper lid and lower outside of my lower. You don't need that much, and remember to blend it out before adding this blue eyeshadow called Addis Ababa right next to and a little on that purple. Taking this green from Full Throttle Explicit, I follow on from that blue. And from that green with Mermaid prismatic shadow from NYX, which I forgot to show because I suck at showcasing product, as you might have been able to tell from the facial expressions. Using NYX's black liquid liner, I give myself a wing with a sharp inner corner, yet annoyed at my camera for not recording this upper eye wing that follows my socket bone, and then add this lower wing that follows the lower crease of my eye. Lower crease. No eye bag, I wasn't sleep deprived filming this, what are you talking about? I run a little hot black shadow from NYX beneath my lash line and fill the gap in my outer crease. Then I am adding yellow accent lines using NYX's Vivid Brights Vivid Halo. I do get it in my lashes and proceed to pick it off camera. Then I fill my lips in with amethyst and decide to contour my potato face with shades from the Pro Highlight and Contour palette. I am adding shadows to my lips in the order of black, previous blue shadow, and mermaid to my lips. But my camera decided to not film most of it. Then to cover any remaining yellow, and just because I like it, I added NYX's Curvaceous Mascara to my upper and lower lashes. And while I know this is not normal, here's where any semblance of normalcy stops and I add the skull makeup. I map out my skull features using NYX's Pro Highlight and Contour palette brown shades, mixing it sometimes with the hot black to get more depth. I start with my sockets extending from the end of my eyebrow in a funky shape that somewhat follows my eye makeup. Then I add the raised section above my temples and the temples. I like my temples to kind of hug the socket design. Then I outline the other half of my nose, socket, and the cheekbones. Poking your skin can help you feel for yours. I add these teeth as a guide for where I can't feel the bone and connect it up from the tooth at the edge of my mouth in this nice swooping curve to the cheekbone. Then I add the jaw, not forgetting the little hole in the side of it. I extend the top side of the jaw past the teeth because of reference images and reasons. Then I add some shading of the divots, this nose divot, and around the nose to give it kind of like a rim, adding the kind of gum bone of the teeth and those tooth lines before finishing off connecting the upper back of the teeth to the cheekbone. And more divot shading for extra fun and detail. Yeah, I do a lot of skulls on this channel and I know you're probably sick of me describing the same steps over and over. I fill in the teeth lines with black, this time thickening the line where the teeth sit in the gum bones. I make the molars look a little more like molars with these black lines, and then use the black to start outlining some of the deeper features like the jaw and temples. I fill the bottom part of my nose, outline the center bit, then jump around back down to add a rim to the teeth jaw connect kind of part and fill in some of the teeth lines. Then I outline the outside of my jaw and blend this out with my finger and brown and black eyeshadows. Then I deepen some more of the shading with this black paint, alternating between somewhat cross-hatching shading and smooth lines that I blend out with my finger. For the nose, I outline the forward parts with brown and black shadows. Then I take the paint to outline them further and add more details behind them, tapping out the harsh lines with my finger. Using the black and brown shades again, I go back to deepening and more shading. Then for some colour, I am taking green again to fill in some of the deepest areas, the temples and jaw holes. I also take it and a purple shadow to add a little more colour to some of the shaded areas. And then back to the nose. I highlight the forward areas with white paint as they seemed a little bit lost, and I also use this to highlight the other forward facing areas of the skull or near some darker areas for contrast. Again, using the good old finger brush as a fast blend. I pretty much highlight everything, even a little inside my lipsticky teeth part. Also, this was kind of meant to be more looking like a tattoo than an actual skull. I'm adding some more witchy vibes with symbols and pictures on my forehead, a plant on the bridge of my nose, and a sun surrounded by a moon on my forehead. I'm using just black for the moment to outline the designs, but I go back in with some colour soon. These swirls are kind of meant to be like the wind, and on the other side is a plant. I'm also adding this kind of feathery fern thing and a fiery kind of design on the other side, because for me, a witch would kind of probably draw some kind of power from the elements. I also add these large to small dots patterns pretty much everywhere later. I fill in the centre of the sun full gold and leave a little black on the outside of the grey kind of things. Then I take the blue eyeshadow from earlier to go over the moon. And then I am adding these gold dots around my eyes. I do end up outlining them in black later, but my camera didn't record it. Then back to the moon, I grab some purple paint and outline the outside edge. And then I run Mermaid over the inside edge. And then I take the purple shade from the Strobe of Genius palette from NYX and run it over the outer edge. Now, using a white paint, I add in all these moon craters, and as it dries it does lose a little opacity, which I kind of liked for this look. Now, taking the gold paint, I am adding 2 dots in all my teeth and 3 in my nose. Then, like I said before, I add these big small dot patterns all over my face. Mad face at the camera for not recording outlining those gold eye dots. And then I fill in the rest of the dots with gold, so it kind of looks like gold with a black outline. Using NYX's Vivid Envy, I fill in some of the plant designs on my forehead and go over some of those designs with Vivid Halo. I also add a purple flower to the nose one, and with the purple on my brush, I go over the wind swirls. And gold for the fire, much like with the sun, I'm leaving a little bit of black in the fire design, and filling in some more of the black dots that I haven't yet filled with gold. I go over the fern with this gold. I kept going out of frame for this forehead design, I'm sorry. I added some blue and white paint to the wind pattern, and then add envy to the fern, halo to the fire, and finishing off the gold dotting. I added some similar kind of patterns to my neck, pretty much following the same structure that I did for the forehead, and add some big old upper lashes and some less crazy but still pretty crazy for lower lashes, false lashes to my lower lid. Then I added my rose shoulder piece, headdress, and hand pieces, and I was done. I was also kinda done in an emotional sense because I was pretty useless in these hands and nails. They took so goddamn long to make, and yet the skeleton one still looked janky AF and broke, and while I loved the other one, in these super long nails I was pretty much incapable of doing anything with that hand. Oh well, lessons were learnt. Thanks for watching. Sorry if this was a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Stay classy, peeps.
I'll put that in the video.